This episode is sponsored by ManaScheduler scheduling software, specifically with artists and studios in mind. ManaScheduler is built by artists so they understand exactly what we need when it comes to scheduling. It offers tools like multi-artist scheduling, analytics, client reminders, customized waivers, and entire studio-level organization. It's designed to grow with you, whether you're a solo artist or running a full studio. If you want to spend less time managing schedules and more time focusing on your craft, ManaScheduler is a great option. You can learn more by checking out the link in our show notes.
Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work.
Everyone's talking about Instagram and TikTok and how to get more likes, how to get more followers, how to get more engagement, how to get more reviews on your videos. And guys, I am so fucking bored with it. I don't want to talk about social media anymore. I want to talk about something different today. I want to talk about thinking outside of the box when it comes to promoting and marketing yourself as a tattoo artist. I want to talk about what no one else is talking about, and that is guerrilla marketing, which feels like a lost art, but it doesn't have to be, because I am here to help you. So what is guerrilla marketing? If you aren't familiar with it already, let me try to explain it to you. So it is basically a marketing strategy that's usually low cost and has a really high impact and relies heavily on creativity and surprise and word of mouth, and not high budget advertising like Facebook ads or Google tend to be. If you're curious about where it gets its name from, so was I. So I went and looked it up. They got the name guerrilla marketing from guerrilla warfare, which sounds really intense. But so guerrilla warfare is like a tactic of war that relies on unpredictable acts of disruption to distract the enemy. So guerrilla marketing is basically the same thing, where it's like unpredictable things to kind of disrupt the norm. And it works really well when you do it correctly. And the reason why it works so well, I'm going to tell you. So it's cost effective. Like I said, it's usually very inexpensive. A lot of times it costs nothing at all. It's just some weird free advertising that just gets people talking. You get a much faster response than you would with an ad that you pay for somewhere, because people are seeing it and immediately reacting to it. It's more memorable. Hopefully, if you're doing it correctly, it's going to be super memorable for people. It relies on creativity, which that's what we do as artists. Like, this feels like a no-brainer, right? It allows for more creativity in general, because you're not being like put into a box of how you have to create your ad because it's going on TV or it's going on, social media or a Google ad or whatever. You're kind of limited with what you can do with that. Whereas guerrilla marketing is endless opportunities. Like it's the only limit is your, limit of creativity. It also engages a broader audience than you would have online, because there is no algorithm. There's nothing directing this ad, quote ad, to anyone in particular. It's just whoever happens to see it, whoever happens to, drive by, or whatever, whatever tactic you end up using. It's just right place, right time kind of thing. And it's not going to be targeted to anyone in specific. So you have a much broader audience seeing these things. And the reason why I want to talk about this now is because now everyone's relying on social media. Like, the main focus of everything you hear about marketing and promoting is Instagram, it's TikTok. It's like so focused online that no one is doing this. At least they might be doing it on a large scale level, like big corporate businesses are probably doing this, but I'm not seeing this on like a small level, like small businesses or tattoo artists or anyone like on our level down here. So like I said, there's no algorithm in real life. So you can't be like shadow banned and no one's seeing your posts anymore because it doesn't work like that. They also don't have to already know who you are in order to get their attention. It directly targets your local audience as well. So if you're posting online or you're advertising online, you're getting people from all over the fucking place. Is that really helping you at home when you're not traveling and you're in your hometown? Probably not. So having this immediate access to the people in your local community is going to be so much more beneficial. And the biggest reason that I think that this is the direction that I want to start going. It also creates an instant connection and a good impression if you're doing it right, like I said. Especially if it's funny or interesting, like you're going to remember those things. And when I get into the examples of some things, you might remember them because they're just so ridiculous and so weird and just catch you completely off guard. And that's what makes it memorable to people. And that's what makes people think about you and come back to you and want to come get a tattoo from you. So within the genre of guerrilla marketing, we have subgenres, different types of guerrilla marketing. So the first one is called ambient marketing, which they describe as unusual everyday locations like branded bus benches or sidewalk art. So this is, you probably see this more commonly than any of the others, or you'll like remember these more commonly because I think this is a pretty easy one. But think about like bus wraps that have like weird stuff on them or like benches that look like, I can't even think of a good example like that, but I do have some actual examples that I looked up. So on January 14th, so if you guys, I don't know if anybody is a fan of the show Severance, because I am, and it's an awesome show, you should watch it. But they did a pop-up in Grand Central Station in New York City, to promote the new season of the show. And they had a box, like a glass box in the middle of New York's Grand Central Station with all of the actors in it just playing their part in the show and just going about their like daily routine at work, quote in the, the innies in their jobs. For 3 hours, they sat there just completely in character, no explanation, nothing. Just like this thing showed up and it was weird as hell and it went viral. Everybody's posting it, taking pictures, going by to see it. And they made a big deal about it. And it was just like a weird thing that they did to advertise the show. And Deadpool is another one. I thought this was hilarious. I had not heard this one before, but for like the advertising for the new Deadpool movie, they made a Tinder profile for him. So, or I think it was multiple different apps, like dating apps. So they made different dating profiles with Deadpool in them, which is hilarious. But that's how they promoted the new Deadpool movie. The second type of guerrilla marketing is ambush marketing. And I think this one is the ones that always get me. And I always remember these, but they're the type that if it's like a major event going on, that they use that to gain attention without actually paying for the official sponsorship. So they do some kind of like, weird spoof thing that they bank on, because there's a big event going on. So for example, if you are a football fan and you remember the 2013 Super Bowl where the lights went out, I remember it very well. The lights went out and Oreo tweeted, "You can still dunk in the dark," which out of context, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? But most people knew that the Super Bowl was happening and they knew the lights went out. It was a big deal in the news. Like it was all over the place. But Oreo tweets this and it goes fucking viral. And that didn't cost anything. It cost them like 2 seconds to write this and tweet it. And it was like a huge advertising campaign for them and it caused their sales to spike. And another one during the Super Bowl was Duolingo. God, I can't say that. Duolingo. I wonder if they have a Duolingo in order to pronounce that word. They showed their ass during the Super Bowl. And if you remember the ad, you might remember this, but they purchased 5 seconds instead of like everybody else is purchasing like 30 seconds, like a minute, like it's so much money for a Super Bowl ad, and in halftime. They paid for 5 seconds, and all they did was show their little logo guy with his butt out. Like his butt was like, you have to look up the picture, but like his butt is like another, I can't remember exactly what it was. It's like another like character on his ass on the other side. And they just show it for like 5 seconds, which makes everybody go, wait, what the fuck was that? And then they stop it, rewind it. They're screenshotting it. They're posting it online. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like there's like an ass, like a little green man ass on the TV, and it goes viral. And, they didn't have to pay tons of money like the other companies did to get that advertising time during Super Bowl. They paid for 5 seconds. Fucking smart. The third type of guerrilla marketing is stealth marketing, which is also, I feel, very common. Actually, I guess the more that I talk about these, the more I'm like, yeah, everybody does this. Like, I've seen this a million times. So stealth marketing is like very subtle without you really knowing that they're advertising to you. It's like subliminal messaging, I guess, was what I would relate it to, where they are like placing product in like movies, TV shows, different ads where it's not obvious that they're advertising it, but you see it and you're like, oh, Coca-Cola, I feel like this is a very common thing that they do. And like Pepsi, I feel like I've seen that in movies and TV shows a million times. A really fun one that I had forgotten about was, if you've ever seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, Tom Hanks plays a FedEx employee, and he's stranded on an island after a plane crash, and there are FedEx boxes everywhere. They're like, throughout the entire movie, you see FedEx boxes, and he's so worried about getting his packages delivered on time. Like, even after years of being stuck on this island, he's like, I gotta get this package delivered. So it's like this subliminal messaging that they're doing that FedEx delivers no matter what. And they actually did not pay for this advertising. That was just like a choice that the movie made, but they banked on that because it put that idea into people's mind. It was always in the back of their mind, like, oh, FedEx delivers no matter what, because, remember Castaway? Like, he got it delivered. Another one was Eggos in Stranger Things. So Eggo waffles is the reoccurring thing with Eleven, and she, loves her waffles, and it touches on our nostalgia and our love for nostalgic things, and it caused a spike in their sales in Eggo, like just by having them as part of the show, and at some point, like, it becomes like a staple to the show, where it's like, it's not just that they have them in the background and like, oh, there's a Pepsi can or whatever, but it's actually part of the story, part of the show. And, it's marketing, whether you want it to be or not. The fourth type of guerrilla marketing is viral buzz marketing. So this is going to be like shocking stunts and content that's intended to spread rapidly online and through social media. And it's more like shocking things or things that get people talking. When they were promoting King Kong 360 3D movie, they made these enormous like King Kong footprints in the sand on Santa Monica Beach. And they had like a crushed lifeguard SUV next to him. And people like didn't say anything about it. People were just discovering this on the beach as they're, going about their day, their beach day. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And they're taking pictures. And of course it goes viral. In 2017, they remade the horror movie It. As part of their marketing campaign, they went around like certain places in Australia and left red balloons tied to a string, tied to a sewer drain, like in just random places for people to just happen upon. And anyone who's seen the original movie, they're going to remember like what that balloon is and probably like either be super freaked out by it and run away, or they're going to take pictures and make it viral, which is what happened. The fifth type of guerrilla marketing is experiential marketing. So this is interactive stuff that it gets the public involved. They're actually participating in the actual event or in the advertising. And there are things like flash mobs or games in the street and, things where they can actually be somehow physically involved. Coca-Cola did this with their happiness machine. It was a vending machine that they put out on the street near a college, I think, and students would just go up and try to, buy a soda or whatever, and only to find out that they were giving out free Coke, flowers, and pizza in this vending machine. And of course, goes viral. Everybody, that participated in this, they're doing the work for Coca-Cola. So all they had to do was place this vending machine there for people to discover and figure it out. And everyone taking pictures and posting it online and talking about it, they did all the work for Coca-Cola. So they're just reaping all of the benefits from that. So the key here, if you are paying attention, is to think outside of the box. So it's not your normal, like, hey, we sell tattoos, come get a tattoo. Here's a picture of a tattoo. It's really getting creative with it. And how can you make people stop and see things and create an experience, create a moment that they're going to remember, and hopefully will remember you in the future when they want to get a tattoo. So my biggest tips on this is don't overthink it and don't worry about it being perfect, because the less perfect it is, the more people are going to remember it. And stop hiding behind social media, because it's not the only way to advertise, and it's not even the best way to advertise, in my opinion. Some guidelines on planning out your marketing strategy with this type of marketing is don't expect it to always be a huge hit. So take the information as feedback, try something else, and just, keep going, especially because it is such a low cost thing. Like, if it doesn't work, the first idea doesn't work, like, fuck it, do something else, come up with another idea. Always have a backup plan. Some of the things that I've tried in the past, this was a thing like back in the day, like when I started tattooing, we didn't have social media. I know that you sound so old, but I didn't have that. The only way to market yourself, the only way to promote yourself is to get out there and talk to people and meet people and do things like this. So, I didn't do anything extreme like that, but I did, print out postcards and I would go flyer all the parking lots around town. I gave, different bars in towns coasters that I made, and they put them on their bar and it's got my name and information on it. Hiding business cards places and leaving them places. There's so many things that you can do. Like, the possibilities really are endless, but that was all we had back then. So I got very good at it, and you always, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like I've given out coupons before, which I don't think coupons work. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't at this point like discounting my work, or, I don't encourage anybody to do discounts, but tried it. It didn't work well. Moved on, tried something else. So don't get stuck on like, oh, it didn't work this one time, because there's a million other things that you could do that might actually work better. And make sure that what you're doing is aligned with your business. Like, I wouldn't go, hand out free shots with my business name on it because I'm sober and I don't drink and I don't want to, that's not the kind of clients I want to attract. So I wouldn't do something like that. It doesn't align with what I'm doing. So make sure your idea makes sense with what you do, what you believe, what your values are, and understand that it's only going to work for so long. So if you do have an idea and it does really well, it's not going to last forever. People are going to get bored with it. It's going to lose its like shiny, and it's going to stop working at some point. People are going to stop caring, and you have to come up with a new idea. That's why I said always have another idea on the back burner, just so you have something to do next. And in the same respect, you can't just copy what someone else is doing. So if someone else did something really cool and it worked really well for them, don't expect to just steal that idea and do it for yourself and have it work. I'm a big fan of stealing stuff from like other industries. If you see somebody in a different industry do something cool like that, like sure, give it a shot, see if it works. But if the guy down the street is, a tattoo artist and he's promoting by giving people like matchbooks with his business name on it and stuff, like don't fucking do that. That guy's doing it already. Like It's not going to work for you. But this is a really great tactic if you are just looking for something different, or if you are also sick of fucking social media, if you don't want to do the song and dance on TikTok, if you, you just want to try something new, and, maybe you might be really good at this. This is something that is creative, and it does require an artistic brain to be able to come up with these ideas. This might be something that you enjoy doing. So give it a try and see how it works out for you. I thought it would be fun to create a list of guerrilla marketing ideas that I came up with for tattoo shops and tattoo artists. So if you want to download that, you can go to boundbyart.com/GM for guerrilla marketing. And I have a whole, I just sat there and brain dumped a whole bunch of ideas. So if you want to go check that out and download that, feel free to steal them. I haven't used all of them. We're probably not in the same city anyway, so it doesn't matter. But give them a try and let me know if any of them work out for you. And I love to hear your ideas as well. So if you are following us on social media, feel free to leave a comment under this video and tell us what your ideas were.
All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.